Yo, what's going on, all you pretty little unicorns? How you doing today? This is Keegan, and today I have a gameplay for you in which I go 37-9 in TDM. I remember getting this game, and I remember that a part of it, um, I ended up getting an Overwatch just because I like shooting crap down. So I would recommend if you're playing solo TDM, a lot of times the other teams will be calling in like a lot of care packages or UAVs or something like that to shoot stuff down. Put on Scavenger, and especially if it's 6v6, you won't run into too many people usually at one time in TDM. Put on Scavenger because you don't really need the sleight of hand for that, and then also have on a Stinger. Every time you shoot down something, then it's like you're getting a kill. So if you know there's nobody around for a fact, or you're having trouble finding somebody, or if they put up a UAV, just shoot down their stuff, and it's like you killed somebody. So it's gonna help you out a lot in your getting your uh, kill streaks a lot earlier and whatnot. But these guys were really super campy, and I remember the game goes like almost the full time limit, and I was just like furious at the end of it. I started yelling. I'm like, "Why the fuck are you so campy?" It was the most boring fucking game ever. I just like flipped out completely. It was it was kind of like made like I just took a step back. Then after I was done, I was like, "Oh my god, did I just really like freak out for people being campy?" But whatever. Yeah, I haven't even played this game in like 2, 3 days now, so I need to get some more gameplays pretty soon, so we'll have to jump on there. Anyways, I posted a video earlier today, but you're probably gonna see this either tomorrow or really late tonight. But anyways, I left in the description if you guys would like to hear about the whole Kony 2012 movement. And if you guys go on any big YouTube channels, like mostly the bigger ones, it's being promoted on a lot, or even on Facebook, it's all over now. Is the Kony 2012, and it looks a lot like someone is trying to run for president or something, and that people are supporting it. So if you don't already know what this is, the guy's name is Joseph Kony, and he is from Uganda. He was born in like 1964, I think it was. I was looking this up before, and so he's like 47 years old then, if that's I'm doing math right. He's like 40. He's like 47 years old, 50 years old, and he's the leader of the LRA, which is the Lord's Resistance Army. Basically, what that is just pretty much his own like made-up thing. I mean, he's not really. It's not even really a army per se, or really anything that is. They have like no cause for fighting except for having power. And what Joseph Kony is, he's just kind of a power-hungry guy. So what about him? What kind of threat does he pose to America? And to be honest, Joseph Kony really doesn't pose any threat to America at all. I mean, he's in Uganda. There's no technology there hardly. And what does he have for soldiers? Well, it's estimated he's had like used like 30,000 soldiers. So why is this even like a big deal to us? Well, for anyone that really has a heart, you know that. Well, you feel after you hear. He takes children away from their families, and he uses them then, or turns them into his own soldiers. I'm having trouble finding my words today, guys. I'm sorry. I must be getting too old. And he turns them into his soldiers and just makes them kill other people. He makes them go into towns and then like just make horrible deformations to people's faces, and like just basically do everything like horrible you can imagine. Like one of the worst people. And when the United Nations they got together and put the like top 25 list together for the worst war criminals that there are, he actually made the top of the list. And so he's being sought after, I guess, but not to the extent of what is being needed. Well, this guy, I forget the name, but he runs a group called the Invisible Children, something or another, where he's trying to help out all these children over in Uganda that are, being forced then into being a child. I don't want to say slave, like a child soldier, I guess. And then the women are sold as into child sex slaves for the other kids part of it. So for those guys, I guess if they're really assholes and want to have sex with the little girls, it's not a bad deal for them. But honestly, it's a sad thing when you think about how awful this must be for them. I mean, the first world problems we have right now, we're like, God damn, I want to hold like a 3K to D ratio in COD. But for them, they just want a glass of water, and that's hard enough for them to find. Not to mention, they always are like scared that this Joseph Kony guy is going to come into their village, take them from their family, or in turn force them to kill their parents. There's been multiple accounts of that. So obviously, this guy is not a good guy. What's the big thing that's coming out now for the Kony 2012? It's actually the name of a YouTube video that the Invisible Children Foundation or something like that. They actually made this video up of all these clips from like 2004 and all that of Uganda, pretty much when it was like the worst time to be in Uganda. So this is where it's kind of misleading and why I don't really want to support this to the fullest. I mean, obviously, I'm not a complete asshole, and I do believe that Joseph Kony needs to pay for what he's done. I mean, it's a lot like the same war crimes as such as what Hitler does. Maybe not to the fullest extent yet, but it's not far from it. And he's just brutally murdering or having other children murder other children, murder people, just not for no apparent reason besides he wants to feel powerful or have the power. So also, why am I not fully wanting to support this cause? If you look across, time, there's always been people. Is it Murdoch was the guy that he scammed a bunch of people into, like buying some with life insurance, I want to say, and he just pretty much like scammed a lot of people out of money. Well, with this foundation, if you look over what their pay is for throughout the year, only like 33% or 37%, something like that, is actually going towards the children of Africa and Uganda, helping them out or helping out different causes in there. And like some astronomical amount, like of like 15% of this is going for like re-advertisement, and like then another additional like 10% is different traveling expenses and different equipment use. And now, mind you, I know that you need a lot of money for this, but they collect millions of dollars every year. So 10% of that, if they're getting like $100,000, just to travel around, I mean, they're able to travel to Uganda a lot of times with that. So I think a lot of this money is lost in transition, and the leaders of this group are actually living a pretty good life off of doing this. Now, I do, believe that this needs to be stopped and everything, but I don't know necessarily that this is donating all of this group is what we need to do. I think we need them to bring up the idea for it, but I also think that the United States needs to take over and just not have it to be through a non-profit organization thing. But sorry the gameplay ran out. I had a little more to talk about, but that's fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.